Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Justice League movie 6-inch scale Flying Fox mobile command playset from Mattel. Now I do believe this is a Walmart exclusive. That's at least the only place I've seen selling this toy. And it comes packaged in a similar style that we've been seeing with all the Justice League movie products. Now this is primarily made for the basic line of figures that Mattel does. So on one side of the packaging, you've got an image of the toy in the Flying Fox vehicle mode. And this is something I believe that will actually appear in the movie. And then you can flip it up and over, and on the other side it reveals how the playset opens up to become a mobile command center. Then on the sides of the packaging it just shows off the various features of the toy, and nothing on the bottom side of it really. And the packaging on this thing, it measures this way. The width of it is about 24 inches, and then the height of it is about a little over 8 inches, and then the diameter of it is about 14 inches. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the toy outside the packaging, and you can see there is some assembly required with this thing. Now you do get an instruction manual that shows you how to put everything together, and for the most part it's just snapping pieces in, so it's not terribly difficult. There is a decal sheet also that you have to apply stickers, which can be a little bit of a pain. Okay, so putting this thing together is pretty easy. The first thing you probably want to do is put the decals on, and that will probably be the thing that takes the longest. I've gone on and applied the decals, and there are definitely some decals that are hard to get to according to where you're supposed to put them with the instructions and everything. So again, that might take you a little bit of time, but actually assembling this is not that big a deal. Shouldn't take you very long at all. So you want to start off, this is the main piece, and the window here where you see the red window here, that's the front of the vehicle. And then this piece is the next biggest piece, and this is the back of the vehicle, and this is actually where the cockpit is. So you've got the canopy here again with red windows. And so what you want to do is just take this back piece and just snap it in to the main piece, and so now you just have one big giant piece. And then really all else you have to do is just put the wings on. So with the wings, the main wings, you've got these little holes here, and then you've got these little pegs that stick out. Now you want these pieces, these little flat pieces, to be pointing towards the back of the vehicle. So again, once you just snap it on like that, and do it with this side as well, and they just snap on real easy. And then finally you've got these back wings, so there's two sets on each side, the left and the right. The upper portion have the wings kind of curve up a little bit, and then the lower wings are flat. However, you're gonna, when you put them in, they have these little pegs and they have holes here. So when you put them in, you kind of do it at an angle. And so these lower wings are actually gonna be kind of at a slant downwards. And then you put in the upper wings and just snap them into place, and then the same on this side. And they pop into place. And that's basically it for your primary vehicle. Now you do have these weapons and stuff that you have to put on there, which I'll show you in just a sec. Okay, now next thing you want to do is they've given you these little tabs that you want to put on the bottom of the wings. These are, I guess, landing gear. So I've already snapped one in, and all you do is you just plug them in. Now once you get them in there, they're pretty hard to get out, but basically, like I said, you just snap these in and they kind of act like landing gear. They don't roll or anything, they're just plastic pieces, but they give it a little extra support there. Now I should note, even though the support struts that you attach to the wings aren't actual wheels, there are wheels on the bottom of the main thing, so you can roll this, and it rolls actually fairly decently. Next, you have these two missile launchers, and these go on the top of the vehicle. Now there are holes several places in the vehicle, down here, here, also here on the wings, so you can really put these missile launchers anywhere that there are holes on this thing. You just got the little peg here and you just plug them in. Now the holes here in the middle are basically where they show it, like on the picture on the box and everything where you put it, but again, you can really put those anywhere. You can put them down here on the wing if you want, or up here at the front, or back here. So like I said, it's really up to you where you want to put them, but I think technically the middle here is where they're supposed to go. And then you get these blue missiles that you can put in here, and you can put up to 4 missiles between the two in each one, and they just click into place. So once you have the missiles loaded, then you can hit these red buttons on top of each of the launchers and it will fire the missiles. So if you just hit it once lightly, it'll fire just 1 missile, and then you can hit it again. Or if you hit it like, you just kind of hold it down, then it fires them both at the same time. There's also some holes towards the back here on the side of this thing near the cockpit that you can put those missile launchers if you want. I actually kind of think that the missile launchers look better on the side than on the top. Now, a couple features this thing has in the vehicle mode besides the firing missiles on the top here. You can also pull out this little latch here, and it reveals a gun in the wing, and you can turn it. The turret does turn. So, and you've got that on both sides. So a little extra firepower they give you with this. And then also on the back here, there's a cargo type ramp. So you can basically lift it down, and this is made to hold an actual figure. There's a little strap you can strap a figure in, or you can just put cargo, whatever cargo you want to kind of store in here. And then finally, you've got the cockpit that's towards the back of the plane. So you can open up this canopy, and you've got the windshield that's done with an orangey red translucent plastic, so you can't actually see through it. And so you can just pop this open, and this will hold 1 figure in the cockpit. Not a lot of detail in there. There are a few decals that you apply, but overall it's pretty basic in there. Now, as I mentioned before, this playset is geared more towards Mattel's basic figures, which tend to be a little bit smaller than, say, the multiverse figures. So those basic figures, and this is a Dawn of Justice basic Batman figure. I don't have any of the Justice League ones, but they're the same size. And so they will fit in here without any problem. You can get the canopy closed without any issue. But if you want to put like a multiverse figure or a larger 6-inch figure, then you're not going to be able to close the canopy, because unfortunately they're big enough that you're not actually going to be able to get the canopy closed with them in there. Okay, so in vehicle mode, this thing measures, if you count to the tip of the wing to the front here, is just about 31 inches in length. And height wise, this is going to get you about 7 inches in height, and then going this way in diameter with the wings, you're looking at close to 25 inches. As far as details, paint applications and such, there's really no paint applications on this at all. It's just a dark grayish plastic, but no paint detail at all. You've got the decals, and then you've got the red windshields on the top and the front here, and that's really it as far as color. Sculpting detail, I haven't actually seen this in the movie, but you know, I'm assuming this is pretty accurate to how it actually looks in the movie. Okay, now the next thing you probably want to do with this thing is you can open up the top here, and to do that, all you need to do is just turn this little knob here a little bit and then lift up, and these panels will just come open. And once you do that, what is revealed is an armory. Now, if you have the Justice League Batcave playset, which was originally released as a Dawn of Justice playset, you know this is pretty much the same setup with the armory and same accessories. And you've got various weapons that you see Batman using, including batarangs, some smoke grenades, a crossbow, grapple gun, the EMP gun here, and then a couple other rifles and stuff. So these are exactly what we saw with that Batcave playset, and these are done with just a gray plastic. There's no paint detail or anything on it, but you can store it in this little blue panel here, and most of these weapons will stay pretty secure. The batarangs might have a tendency to come out a little bit if you move this thing around a lot, but for the most part it does secure the weapons pretty nicely. Now, after you've opened the top here, you can go on and finish transforming this from vehicle to mobile command center. So next thing you want to do is there's a little red button here on the side, and you just push it in, and the front here opens up, and you can basically, you've got this little extra support beam that you can pull out, And then you have this little chair here that you can sit a figure in, and you've got a little computer center here. And then basically you just pull this up, and then you hit this little red button here, and this comes down, and you have your mobile command center. Okay, so we'll start off by looking at the little computer center over here in the corner, and this is where all your computer screens are, and you've got the little pop down seat that I mentioned. You can see I have my Batman figure sitting there working at the computers. Now the computer screens and everything are decals that you apply, and you can have your figure just kind of stand in front if you want. Like I said, I think this is supposed to be like a little pop down seat. That's what I'm using it for anyway. They've also included this robot arm. We again saw this with the Batcave playset, and you have some articulation back here. It rotates, and then the claw you can do up and down, but the claw itself doesn't actually work. And then what you do is you just attach it to this little strut here, and it doesn't do a whole lot, but it kind of gives the added look to the command center. And then inside the main compartment you can stand figures. Now it goes all, basically there's not really any flooring here, but you can still stand figures inside there, and you can get away with using your multiverse figures if you want. Really no reason why you couldn't put your multiverse figures, stand them in here. And again, you've got some decals and stuff on the side, so it looks kind of like a computer center. And then they've also included pegs along these two platforms here, so you've got 3 on each side, so you can stand the basic figures on these pegs. The peg holes for the multiverse figures don't really work very well, so you're not going to be able to use the pegs for your multiverse figures, but again, if you want to just stand your figure, your multiverse figure on there, you can. And then of course you've got a trapdoor feature up here on the top. Every playset seems to have a trapdoor feature, so you can set your figure on the top there and then hit this red button, and he falls through and drops through. And if you have this yellow thing open, then he slides down, or you can keep it closed and make it kind of like a jail. Other things that this thing has is you get these 2 pieces that you can fit over your action figure. I don't know what these are really supposed to be, but basically you can put them over your figure. So you get this blue one, and then you get this red one, and I don't know, it really doesn't seem to do much, but I guess if you want to give your figure some extra bulk. And then you can store these up here. There's little holes that you can just plug these into, so basically you can store them up there when you have it in command mode. Also, you can pull this back piece up so it reveals the armory, so you can access the weapons through that, and it should just click into place. So it gives your playset some added height. And then the final thing that this is listed with a feature as is you get the zip line feature. This is something again you see very often with Mattel playset. So they've included a rope that has 2 hooks on each end. You probably want to roll up some of the rope onto the hook so that you don't have any lag in the rope here, because the rope is longer than the length between the 2 points here on the playset. And I won't say this works that great. The little handcuffs that they give you, or basically thing that you're supposed to put on the rope, you just hook this onto the rope, and then you put the hands of the figure in between these 2 clamps, and so then it's supposed to just kind of come down, but it gets hung up on the rope. I guess I don't know, it just doesn't come down, so you have to basically push it down yourself if you really want it to work, at least with mine. Okay, so in mobile command mode, this thing measures height wise, it's about a little over 24.5 inches at its highest point. The diameter of this thing is about, let's say, a little bit over 28 inches, and then the width of this thing is about around 25 inches. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I would say from an adult collector standpoint, I definitely could not really recommend this. There's not a whole lot of detail to it. It does, I guess, look fairly accurate to what's going to be in the movie. I haven't actually seen it in the movie yet, so I can't say for sure, but I think the overall design of it is pretty similar to what we'll see in the movie. But it's not really in scale to 6-inch figures, which would be humongous, so I understand that. But it also doesn't really work very well with adult collector-oriented figures like the Multiverse line or other 6-inch figures. It's really made for the smaller, basic figures that Mattel does. Now, from a playability standpoint for younger kids, There are some fun features with this. However, most of the features that you find in this playset, you can also find in the Batcave playset that Mattel did. And I would say that the Batcave playset is probably more fun overall. Now, it's true that that one is more expensive. At least the original price of that was, I believe, over $100, whereas this one's only going to cost you about $60. So definitely, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Batcave, this might be something that you want to consider. Now, this is available now. I believe, again, it is a Walmart exclusive. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.